Hello viewers, this is your boy Political Hamzy. If you do like this content, please click the like button, the subscription button, and don't forget to turn that notification bell. Today's topic, we're going to keep it short, nice and simple. We're talking about the insurgency in Nigeria. Are the military making any positive gains? We always talk about this topic, but why we keep revisiting it is that each time things happen. And the problem I have is that they always tell you, we cannot eradicate them because they're in Sambisa forest and it borders like 6, 4, 5 states. It's a big area. But you ask yourself, this is the same Nigerian military that went to Liberia, that went to Sierra Leone. They weren't restricted to a small portion of the country, but the whole country, and they were able to restore peace to that country. So if they were able to do this in a whole nation, why is it hard for them doing it in Nigeria? Is it because of lack of equipment or proper training? Then you hear the government telling you, we've bought this equipment to tackle the insurgency. But the problem is that when you look at it on paper and the whole procurement of this hardware, they tell you, we've bought this hardware, but it will be delivered in the next 8 months. And once it's delivered, we have to wait for training on how to maintain the equipment and how to use it, which would be almost 2 years before that equipment or hardware is deployed in the theater. And by that time, that equipment, is it something that the military will need? And you ask yourself, the war we face against this ISWIP Islamic the Islamic rebels in West Africa and Boko Haram is something new that the military is just witnessing. Are they actually receiving proper training to deal with this kind of insurgency? And when you see our military formations and army units, most army units, you see them with sniper formations, like a 50 caliber rifle. Maybe I'm wrong, or I'm ignorant, I'm not aware of the hardware we have, but I've never seen any of the formations them having a sniper with a 50 caliber rifle. We do need sniper units. We need the right equipment, the right communication equipment. We need night vision equipment. Do we have all this? Why can't we? And if we do, why don't we deploy them? And you hear them now saying, we have problems procuring hardware because the Americans and the British are saying we have a problem with human rights, so they can't sell this hardware. And you ask yourself, we have good relationships with China, we have good relationships with Russia. Are these, Britain and America, are they the only countries in the world that sell military hardware? So why can't we buy from other countries? What's stopping us? And you ask yourself, why do we hear the same thing? Like you have this Bello Turaji, this well-known bandit or terrorist. They tell you, we have him surrounded, we've eliminated so many of his key men. But we've heard this before so many times when they tell you, we've had these bandits surrounded, they're ready to surrender. And they regroup stronger. Why do we give these people time to regroup and even come back stronger? Or is it that our military and our government, they're complacent in the war of terror, in the war against terror in Nigeria? Is it because they're looking at it as a cash cow, whereby we have a budget that can't be questioned because it's something due to national security, and from there they can siphon money that they need? Because I don't see why this war on terror in Nigeria is taking this long. And funny enough, I do like the stance of Gani Adams, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. He's not come out to say, look, all foreigners, all northerners in Southwest leave. He's come out and he said, look, the terrorists and bandits that have relocated from the north to southwest to cause mayhem. We're coming after you. And I do think the army and the police should support his effort, because he's operating from local intelligence. They have people on the ground, normal day-to-day people that have gone back and reported and said, look, these are people we've seen, these are movements and what we've seen. And he's working on intelligence, not assumptions. So I think they really need to be supported. And even in Maiduguri, I've watched documentaries about the hunters going after these terrorists. And you look at some of them, they're going again after these terrorists with ding guns, locally made guns, and you're like, how can they actually win? And you ask yourself, what support is the state and federal government giving to these people? Because it seems our state and federal government are not ready to help out, are not ready to make a difference in the lives of Nigerians. It's such a sad thing. We see how much it's been allocated in the packages and making lives of National Assembly members sweet, nice and easy. You're like, why don't we use these efforts to secure the lives and property of Nigerians? It's such a sad thing. It's like the government doesn't care about us. And I tell people, all these gains the government, they're talking about, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. Let me tell you, without security in your country, any social economic gains are zero. Because without security, there is no farming, there is no commerce. All this mining, it's like all this mining in the north is being done by these terrorists. And you ask yourself, our military, what training are they actually getting? Because you heard there was a military formation of barracks close to Niger Republic that they were raided. They went there and they killed about 20 soldiers, killed officers, and you're like, this is a military barracks. This is a barracks that they would have watchtowers, people with binoculars that they should see these people coming from some kilometers away. And obviously they should have units nearby, reinforcements. And you ask yourself, in this day and age of communication, of telephones, these terrorists will go and they will raid a community for 4 hours. These terrorists and bandits will raid a community. You can't tell me in this day and age of mobile phones, an SOS, a message of help has not been sent out. But for 4 hours, no help, no military formations, nothing will come and assist the people. And the worst part is that this thing happens always in the same location. When something happens once, you're like, yes, we messed up. It happens the second, third time. It's no more a coincidence. It's incompetence. You're like, these things happen within the same location. Why haven't you secured the area? It's like, even the military, yes, the boys on ground fighting for us, they're not incompetent. It's the top brass that's incompetent, because they're not providing them with the right training, with the right equipment, and they're not pushing the government and the National Assembly to provide them with the right equipment. But what has happened? Now the government is providing the top brass with fantastic remunerations when they retire. So nobody is bothered about fighting for Nigeria. The top brass, they're only bothered about staying alive because they know what they get when they retire. And it's such a shame. People in Nigeria are living in fear. Not only bandits, not only terrorists, kidnappers. I don't know why they label them bandits and kidnappers. They're all terrorists. When would we see a positive change in Nigeria? When is security issues going to change? And I tell people it's not going to change because all our lawmakers are moving around with bulletproof cars. our top businessmen, TikTok celebrities, they're all moving around with bulletproof cars. So nobody cares about us because everybody is well taken care of. As I say, let us do the right thing. When elections come, let us vote with our head. This is your boy once again, Protocol Hamzy. Do have a nice week. Thank you.